Hey guys, Will here with WTF Car Reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing the C7 Corvette Z06.
And huge thanks to Anthony, Manny, and the rest of the management and staff here at Infiniti of Clearwater for making this review possible. I'll leave a link to their inventory below. It's very impressive, and if you're looking for a new or used vehicle in the Tampa, St. Petersburg, Clearwater area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out and ask for Anthony.
And for those of you guys who don't know, the Corvette has been Chevrolet's two-seater sports car since 1953. That's when the first generation was released. Fast forward to 2014, Chevy ended up releasing the C7 Corvette, which you see here, and the following year in 2015, they ended up releasing the Z06, which is going to feature a 6.2-liter supercharged V8, making 650 horsepower and 650 pound-feet of torque. Basically the same motor that you would get in the Camaro ZL1, but here for this application, it's going to be mated to a 7-speed manual transmission. Pretty crisp shifting. We'll check that out once we take it out for a drive, and some really beefy 335 wide rear tires, which is going to really help put the power down. Of course, for 2020, Chevy shocked the world when they released the mid-engine C8 Corvette. This is, of course, going to be the old school C7, still with the front engine, similar to what it's been like since 1953. But the new Corvette Z06, which should be expected for 2023, it's going to be completely different, kind of matching the new Corvette theme. It's going to come with a flat plane crank 5.5-liter V8, making 670 horsepower. It's going to sound incredible. However, it's going to be completely different than the Z06 that we have here. But outside of that, coming up front, you can notice your full LED headlights. I'm liking the black headlight housing with a daytime running strip right outside of it. It's gonna be pretty nice, especially for the front end. You notice 2 sets of cameras. It's gonna be for the personal data recorder, which helps you out quite a bit for the track. Front splitter is gonna be pretty aggressive. As you see, they have a couple of scrapes because this is a very low sports car. The wheel and tire setup, also impressive. Here we have our gorgeous black Y-spoke rims. They're gonna be labeled Z06 on the bottom of the rim. They're gonna be wrapped in Michelin Pilot Sport All Seasons. Dimensions are 285/30 R19. You've noticed your massive Corvette Brembo brake caliper with the yellow theme matching the exterior of this vehicle. Vented rotors, 6-piston calipers. Pretty impressive. You see your Z06 supercharged badging on the side. Functional air curtain as well. Another functional air curtain is going to be on the hood, as we mentioned. The mirrors, they're going to be foldable. However, they are really small, and they do not have blind spot monitoring on the glass. To open up the door, of course, typical C7 Corvette, you just push this little piece and it opens right up. More heat extraction, that's going to help your rear brakes and tires. I'm liking this black little side skirt for your rocker panel. It really helps making this vehicle look extremely aggressive. It may scrape over like speed bumps, so definitely be careful. But it really helps the look on the C7 Z06. The rear wheel and tire setup also extremely impressive. These are 20-inch rims wrapped in Michelin Pilot Sport All Seasons. Dimensions are 335, 25, R20. So really aggressive rear wheel and tire setup. Still going to be these vented rotors with 2-piston Brembo Corvette brake calipers. So really aggressive braking setup to go along with the tires. I'm liking the spoiler back here. Should really help when it comes to downforce. You notice your taillights are going to be outlined in this black trim. Functional heat extraction out rear too. Really impressive sports car. Taillights, reverse lights, and turn signals. Corvette badging with the Corvette logo right above it. Quad exhaust tips. Shout out Clearwater Infiniti for letting me review this beautiful 2018 C7 Z06. But we'll take a squat back here. You can notice how fat, ridiculously fat those rear tires are. Should really help when it comes to putting the power down. But speaking of power, let's fire up this 6.2-liter supercharged LT4 motor and hear how it sounds. All right, guys, that was, of course, the sound of the supercharged LT4 V8 motor sold by Chevrolet for the C7 Corvette. To open up the hood, you simply lift this hydraulically assisted hood, and here you have it, your LT4 Corvette V8, making 650 horsepower, 650 pound-feet of torque, enough to get this sports car to 60 in under 3 seconds, assuming you're really quick with shifting the gears. We're not going to be doing any 0 to 60 tests in this vehicle, but I am really excited to take it out for a drive. The inside of the hood is going to also say Z06 with the Corvette badging. Really impressive. The heat extractor is going to be linked to that little funnel. So what you see is basically what you get. No strut tower braces, at least not from what I see, but this should still be an extremely stiff chassis. We'll check all that out once we take it out for a drive. But we'll take one more step over here so you can take a look at the daytime runners and headlights. Really impressive. But as far as the interior, let's hop out to the side and check it out. And again, to open up the doors, well, before we do that, the gas tank's gonna be pushed to open with Easy Fill 93 octane is definitely recommended, or premium fuel if you don't have 93. But stepping inside, the door panel is going to be soft touch with some contrast stitching, memory seats, lock and unlock. Bose audio system sounds great. One touch, power one touch for both mirrors, a little bit of aluminum and more stitched leather material. Even for the armrest, everything's gonna be stitched leather. High quality door panel, not the flashiest. It doesn't really have like the most pop. So like the new style interiors with the contrast with the suede Alcantara, yellow accents, I think look better, but still a very high quality door panel. Stepping inside, Corvette nameplate, Corvette badge on the side of it. The seats, again, not gonna be the fanciest seats, but still gonna be perforated leather. You see Z06 nameplate right above it. The seats are also heated and cooled, fully adjustable down here. You can adjust the bolsters, recline, and slide the seats as well. Really convenient. But anyway, we can take a step inside and really check it out. So the first thing we notice is going to be the steering wheel. Similar to my Camaro, we get a flat bottom. It says Z06 on the bottom. Corvette little badging here with the Chevrolet inside. As far as the horn, pretty aggressive sounding horn too. We have our automatic rev match on the sides. Favorites, but overall I'm liking the steering wheel. It's pretty thick. 10-2 bolstering notches are nice, and the 9-3 is pretty satisfying to hold in your hand. To the left of the steering wheel, this is how we adjust our mirrors, heads-up display, information, and interior brightness. Beneath, we have our trunk release. We can turn off our sensors too. The hood latch is a little bit behind that area. I'm not sure if I can pick it up on the camera, but that's where your hood latch is. You can get a good look at your 3 aluminum pedals. To open up the door, you just press this button and the door opens right up. If the battery dies, you have these emergency latches on both sides of your interior. But other than that, the vehicle over there is, or the truck is unloading cars. So we'll put this roof up to make it a little bit quieter. In the interior, to put the roof up, you simply press this button and the roof should come right up. It's a pretty slow process on this vehicle, but I'll show you guys how it's done. So yeah, actually not that slow. It was much slower putting the roof down, but okay. All right, all set. So you can pull up the windows, which are gonna be single pane windows. To be expected, it is a sports car nevertheless, and now it should be a lot quieter. The gauge display, the speedometer goes to 220 miles per hour. Next to it, we have our oil pressure, digital tachometer in the middle. We're currently looking at tire pressure with the digital speedometer up top. Gas gauge in the top right corner, bottom right is gonna show our boost gauge. As far as the adjustments for the digital display, we're currently looking at the eLSD, shows us our wheel slip percentage. Full stick for the tachometer. You can see our G-forces both ways. Accelerometer, so it shows us our 0 to 60, coolant temperature, oil pressure, battery voltage, so it's nice that we get a voltometer, trans fluid temperature, horsepower. That's a pretty cool screen to look at all times. I wonder if you can rev it up in neutral and it changes. Yep, that's pretty cool. Nice feature, and it sounds really good. This is a really good sounding engine. We're currently in sport mode for the engine sound. As far as the drive mode select, of course, we have Tour, Sport, and Track. We'll start the review in Tour mode, transition into Sport and Track, and really see what the differences are. We can also adjust between tire temperature. So that's also a pretty cool feature. It lets you know when your tires are ready for some hard acceleration runs. I'm liking the gauge display overall. Up top, some more stitched material for the upper part of the dashboard. It's not gonna be the softest touch for this area, but it's still gonna be a nice stitching, soft touch for this area down here for the passengers. They can adjust their climate manually or automatically over here. So it's currently on low, heated and cooled seats. Pretty easy access, considering that this bar is gonna kind of limit the passengers' access in this vehicle. Anyway, here we have our 8-inch touchscreen. Something cool that this screen allows you to do is you can press this button right here, and we have some secret storage with a USB port behind it. You can throw some secret stuff in there. But putting the screen back up, we have adjustments such as audio, phone, projection, nav settings, weather, PDR, that's your personal data recorder, so if you're at the track, you can see video footage of how you did. SMS, OnStar camera. So speaking of camera, we can check it out. Press the camera button. Okay, here we go. So here are all of our cameras, front-facing and rear-facing cameras. Really, well, these are just the front-facing cameras. Sorry, I apologize. The rear-facing cameras, you press this button and you can see everything that's out back. Pretty cool. You can turn on and off your guidance lines too. We'll leave them on for the purpose of this review. Pretty cool features overall. We can go back by just pressing the home button. Traffic lights. Let's see what we get here. So the touchscreen is not very responsive, but here we have a list of traffic information, so pretty cool feature nevertheless. We can hop out of here by pressing the home button again. People Magazine, New York Times, Wall Street Journal, if that's what you're into, iHeartRadio, Fox Sports. Other than that, though, that's about it. We can just go home. My personal favorite to look at all times would just be this nav screen. But again, the screen, it's not very responsive. The nav screen, too, not very responsive. Chevy did a fantastic job updating the screen. Beneath that, we have all the buttons for the shortcuts, automatic climate control, heated and cooled seats, Z06 nameplate, which says 650 horsepower, 650 pound-feet of torque, supercharged, not quite sure if you can pick that up underneath. 7-speed manual transmission. To put it into reverse, of course, clutch in, all the way to the right, pull back, backup camera, pretty decent resolution, not the best. We get guidance lines and trajectory, all which are pretty nice. Next to the gear selector, we have a 12-volt/cigarette outlet. Pretty cool feature, pretty good spot for a radar detector. And if you're not running a radar detector, you can always, of course, just fold it away. 2 cup holders, they are rubberized, and you can remove this little stick so you can have pretty good storage, especially for a cell phone. Parking brake, electronic parking brake, no real e-brake. It would be nice to have a real e-brake, but not the biggest deal. You can shut that up. Drive mode select, Tour, Sport, and track mode, of course. We have the traction control, which you can disable. Aluminum surrounding your shifter, leather stitch trim for your knee will often rest, the glove box or center console. Not the largest storage, it's lined with felt. Additional 12-volt and 2 USB ports on the side with an aux port as well. We can shut this thing up. Not the most space, but the glove box, once you figure out how to open it, you press this button and it opens hydraulically. Also lined with felt, pretty large. And we do have the original window sticker on this 2018 Z06. So this vehicle is currently for sale, I believe. I think it's around like 80,000 bucks on the website. So we'll see how much it's. Oh, it's actually depreciated a little bit, surprising considering this current market. But you can pause, take a look at all the features. Miles per gallon are going to be 15 city, 22 on the highway, 18 combined. Pretty impressive, guys. You can take a look at all the options. Base price is going to be $83,495. However, this vehicle is going to be coming equipped with the 3LZ Premium Equipment Group, $9,000 option that gives us the memory seats, power bolstering, bucket Napa leather. Really comfortable seats, by the way. They just don't look quite as fancy as the new style Corvette seats. Upper trim package, heads-up display, heated ventilated seats, universal home remote, performance data and video recorder with navigation. We also get the front curb view cameras. $1,000 gets us the Corvette Racing Yellow tint coat. Satin black full length, $950 for the stripe racing decal. $600 gets us these really nice yellow Brembo brake calipers. $500 gets us the really beautiful black rims. So kind of surprised that that's only an $1,100 premium to get this wheel and tire package. So total options are going to be around $12,000, making this vehicle come to a total price at around $97,000 after destination. Pretty expensive vehicle. However, this is a really fast car with a ton of luxury features. Kind of happy I found the window sticker. Wasn't really expecting that. Other than that, though, that's about it for this interior. Really beautiful frameless mirror. It's going to be auto dimming, of course, 3 garage settings on top. The headliner would be Suede Alcantara for the coupe models. However, this is going to be the convertible, so we're just going to have a fabric roof. The wind noise is going to be pretty apparent. However, once we take it out for a drive, we'll really check it out. As far as the heads-up display, I know I didn't show you guys that yet. It's going to be pretty large. GM does do heads-up displays better than most of the other manufacturers. Other than that, though, let's check out the trunk real quick and take this car out for a drive. All right, guys, to open this trunk, there's a button right underneath the Corvette badging. We get hydraulic struts to open up the trunk, Z06 right up top. Pretty large opening. You should be able to fit a golf bag, maybe 2. However, that's about it. You're really not going to fit that much stuff because the convertible top is going to take up quite a bit of your trunk space. But that's not why you buy this vehicle for. It's not about the trunk space. It's about the performance. And speaking of performance, let's take this 2018 Corvette C7 Corvette Z06 out for a drive. All right, guys, now we've just about seen everything we need to see with the inside and outside of this C7 Corvette Z06. Let's take it out for a drive. And the first thing I notice is I'm really not digging this clutch. It has a weird engagement point to it, and it engages very long. Once it's like most vehicles, once it starts to engage, it's kind of gradually building. not here. I feel like you have to really feather the center point of this clutch, but I'm sure you get used to it. This is my first like 30 seconds driving this car, so we'll see how I improve as we go along. My first impressions are I like the shifter. It's very notchy. The throttle is very responsive. You know, the 6.2s for these Chevys are fantastic. But we'll take a step out here and really check it out. All right, guys, taking a step out here. We'll lean into it a little bit. Wow. Ooh. Yeah, this thing can really move. We were not really gunning it in first gear, but we leaned into it in second gear, and this thing flies. And it does not rev match automatically unless you turn on the auto rev match. So there we go. See, now once you press the paddle shift buttons, it turns on the auto rev match. And one more time on the gas. This car is no joke, guys. It is really fast. It's a very fast car. I can definitely see 0 to 60 happening in the lower mid 3-second range, maybe even the 2-second range if you are really quick with your shifts. Wow. And as far as the handling, throwing it in, it's pretty sharp. You definitely feel the really good amount of weight through the wheel. It's just the blind spots in this vehicle are pretty bad. People always complain about the Camaro's blind spot, but these are really no better. On the gas, ooh, wheel spin. The traction control definitely works real hard, even when you're not really on the gas too hard. Listen to the rev match though. Ooh, sounds nice. Yeah, merging onto highways, this car is an absolute blast, but let's calm down a little bit. We don't need to push this car too far. It is really a blast to drive. Just light on the gas, passing power. Whew. It's fantastic. And here on the highway, going about 60 miles an hour, we'll throw it into 7th gear. Like 1200 RPM going uphill. Plenty of torque, even in 7th gear. Pretty noticeable wind noise. I'm not sure if you can pick it up on camera. The ragtop roof is certainly not helping when it comes to the wind noise. But steering feels very sharp, even in tour mode. We'll throw it into sport. And yeah, you feel more through the wheel as far as track. About the same as sport. Sport really shows you a noticeable difference. But we have the engine sound permanently in sport anyway, so it's not going to really increase the exhaust noise. Nice. I could do those rev matches all day. It sounds so good when it blips that throttle. But all right, guys, throwing it back in right here. The steering feels very sharp. And coming. Alright guys, stepping back out here. Yeah, so in track mode, the throttle's a lot more sensitive. So again, the clutch in this car, it's gonna take a little while to get used to because it takes a long time for it to really fully engage. I just threw on the cooled seats, however, and the cooled seats are really working. One more 3rd gear pull. This thing can really move. It's a fast car. Downshift. But that's about it, guys. This is a really impressive sports car. Let's take this thing back to Infiniti of Clearwater. And again, huge thanks to them for letting me review this car. Absolutely unbelievable. I had a great time making this video. It's just so fast. It handles so well, and it's such a beautiful car. If you're in the market for a new Corvette, I know that the C8s right now are being marked up like absolute crazy. It's tough to find a 1LT for under $100,000. And here we have a basically brand new Z06. It's a couple years old, but we only have 12,000 miles on this car. And over the speed bumps, pretty smooth overall, pretty impressive. But yeah, so if you're in the market for a new Corvette, this Z06, I would definitely recommend checking it out. With a list price around the $80,000 mark, that's some overall bargain that you just can't get anymore right now with the C8s at least. Other than that, guys, huge thank you to Infiniti of Clearwater in Clearwater, beautiful Clearwater, Florida, for making this review possible. Such an unbelievable car. I would definitely recommend anybody looking for a new Infiniti or any of these new sports cars. They have an unbelievable used car inventory too. Really impressive vehicles. They have an M4, ton of scat packs. They have Tesla 100D dual motor vehicles. Really, really impressive. Probably picking a bad time to speak right now, backing up this pretty expensive Z06, but we got it done. To activate the parking brake, you simply just pull it back and it activates for you. Really impressive car. Again, huge thanks to Infiniti of Clearwater, and thank you guys so much for watching. I had a great time making this video. Probably one of my favorite cars ever reviewed in this channel. This thing is absolutely unbelievable. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. You guys know I have endless gratitude for all the subscribers. You know, the channel is just not possible without you guys, and I really have a huge appreciation for each and every one of you. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Leave a like too. It really helps me out the YouTube algorithm. That's how these videos get promoted to new people. Leave a comment, let me know what you like, let me know what you don't like. Leave a comment, let me know if there's any specific cars or trucks that you'd like to see reviewed in this channel, and I'll definitely try to get those videos for you as soon as possible. But other than that, again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope all you guys have a great day.